we ready? I just wanted to do that, so sorry.
Absolutely. Good evening. It is April 25th, 2023. Welcome to the San Marino Unified School District Board of Education meeting. And here is your board president, Shelley Ryan.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for attending. Reporting closed session. The board has taken unanimous action during closed session. The Board of Education voted unanimously to join a multi-district litigation against named social media defendants for contributing to the youth mental health crisis through deceptive marketing practices, flawed or malfunctioning age verification technology, and profit-centered algorithms. The lawsuit alleges that the defendants' practices and actions specifically target vulnerable youth by subjecting them to harmful and exploitative content that encourages disordered eating, unhealthy social comparison, destructive and/or violent acts, and cyberbullying. This is a class action lawsuit that will take up to 10 hours of district time. It is being handled on a contingency basis, and there are no fees or costs associated with the lawsuit unless the district received monetary compensation. Stated differently, any compensation for attorney's fees would come from any monetary recovery that the district receives. Was all ayes unanimously. Okay. And now I'd like to open the regular session. Call to order, Pledge of Allegiance. This is Dr. Lena Rector.
Thank you, President Ryan. At this point, I would like to welcome and invite our very own amazing Valentine Viking, Miss Allison Wang, to lead the board in the flag salute.
I would like to extend a warm welcome to Superintendent Dr. De La Torre, Board President Ryan, distinguished board members, executive team, and all those in attendance tonight. My name is Allison Wong, and I'm a fifth grade Viking at Valentine Elementary School. I'm joined here by my principal, Mrs. McAlpine, and my family. Valentine Elementary has always been a welcoming and supportive place for all students. One of my favorite memories I will always cherish was a day in TK when I made my first friend, Kalia. She is still my best friend today. It's special to have her friend since TK, but that happens all the time at Valentine. We build lasting friendships throughout the years, and that is because of the awesome students who attend Valentine Elementary. The students, teachers, staff, and PTA continue to be very busy as we finish out our school year, and I can't wait to share with you about some of those events. The week before spring break, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders delighted audiences with a patriotic musical show entitled Seize the Day. The songs we sang represented our country's rich history and celebrated the heroes and American spirit that we all aspire to. One of my favorite events of the year is the May Day dance performance, which will take place this Friday on the Valentine Field. This year's theme is Around the World, and Ms. Pollard and Coach West have taught us dances from across the globe. But never fear, tradition continues with the kindergarteners captivating us with the ever-popular chicken dance, and 5th grade students doing the maypole and sword dance. Valentine Vikings will begin state testing in May, and we're excited to demonstrate how much we have learned this school year. As always, we will work hard to do our best on the test. Lastly, on May 12th, our annual Jogathon fundraiser will take place, running laps and raising money for Valentine. Isn't there anything better? Maybe popsicles at the end? Valentine Elementary will always hold a special place in my heart. I have been a student at Valentine for almost 6 years and will carry the knowledge and memories I have learned to face my new challenges at Huntington Middle School. Even though it's heartbreaking to leave Valentine, especially after an amazing year I had as a 5th grader, I'm excited to continue my learning in middle school. Hopefully one day I can tell you about my adventure at HMS. Tonight, as I welcome you to the San Marino Unified School District Board meeting, I would like to pay respect to our country and our flag. Please join us as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right, 1, 2, 3. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Thank you.
So Allison, I just would like to thank you so much for joining us this evening and presenting on Valentine Elementary School and your experiences there. You did a beautiful job, and in honor of that, we would like to present you with this certificate of appreciation and take a picture with you, if you don't mind, and your family. President Ryan. And we'll do that in the front of the room, if you don't mind. You were done with this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
your family up, bring your
Yes,
family.
have your family join us. Right here in the center of the room. And the rest of the board would like to join us. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
1, 2,
Thank you so much. Thank you, Allison. All right. Next, I'd like to do roll call, please. Mrs. Lamb? Hi. Ms. Gill?
Here.
Ms. Chong?
Here.
Mr. Chang?
Here.
Mrs. Ryan, aye, and our student board member is not here tonight. All right. So next, approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Chang. Thank you, Mrs. Gill. And with that, I'd like to call. Okay, Mrs. Lamb? Aye. Mrs. Gill?
Aye.
Mrs. Chong?
Aye.
Mr. Chang?
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan, aye, and the approval of the agenda has passed. Approval of the minutes for March 28th, 2023.
I move to approve the minutes for March 28th, 2023.
I second. All right, didn't see who second, but thank you, Ms. John. Thank you, Ms. Lamb. And with that, I'd like to call a vote. Ms. Lamb? Aye. Mrs. Gill?
Aye.
Mrs. Chong?
Aye.
Mr. Chang?
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan, aye, and the approval of the minutes has passed. All right, San Marino Unified School District Spotlight. At this time, the Board of Education would like to recognize the San Marino High School Speech and Debate Team. I would like to turn it over to Principal Kurtenbach. Go, Jason.
Thank you so much. I wish Allison had stayed. She needs to be on the speech and debate team in about 3 years. I take no credit for what I'm about to read. Mr. Matt Slimp wrote this for me because there's so many things to honor this group for. We had to limit it to 21 students. There are 70 members on the team. And as you can see, they would not fit here. But for 60 years, San Marino High School has featured speech and debate as a competitive activity that builds lives, challenges conventional thought, teaches enhanced communication and reading and writing skills, and provides students with a wondrous sense of belonging in a fun and engaging team environment. Director Matt Slimp has led the program for the past 14 years, and every year students on the team have trophied at the local, regional, and national levels, and this year is no exception. Mr. Slimp is supported by a terrific group of coaches who similarly devote their time and energy to this activity, namely Mr. Tony Ugalde. Tony, wave back there.
Hey, Tony.
Miss Noreen Rahman. Is Noreen here?
Toby, is she? Yeah, there she is.
Miss Queen Shawanga. Queen? No, Queen is not here tonight. And alumnus, Mr. Wynn Mordecai. Wynn? as well as additional help from our middle school coach, Rob Miller. Tonight, we are celebrating 21 Titans who qualified for the California State Championship. 21 qualified for the California State Championship, and 9 more for the National Championship, which they will be attending this summer. To kick things off, we'd like to invite Team President, Mr. Nicholas Liu, to say a few words about the program from his perspective and to introduce his teammates, so make space.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Dr. De La Torre, and all the other guests at this meeting tonight. My name is Nicholas Liu, and I'm currently a senior at San Marino High School, and I've grown up in San Marino since kindergarten at Carver. I have a brother in 6th grade at HMS, and at HMS, I was a member of Bel Canto, Mock Trial, and the Footloose and State Fair musicals. At SMHS, I've been the president of Speech and Debate, co-president of Mock Trial, and vice president of the Huntington Humanities Club. And in the fall, I plan on attending the University of Southern California as a philosophy, politics, and law major. As a member of Speech and Debate for the 4 years, I've gotten the opportunity to work alongside all of these great speakers. I've seen all the hard work that they've put in to get them to state and nationals. So I'm so glad that they're getting the proper recognition for everything they've done. In terms of my experience in Speech and Debate, I've been able to compete in original oratory, humorous interpretation, and dramatic interpretation. Working with coaches such as Tony, Noreen, and Queen have helped me grow so much as a speaker in person over the 4 years. I also want to thank Mr. Slim for giving us the opportunity to collaborate and learn from each other during the period oral interp every day. And I also want to thank Win for all the work he does with the debaters. For the past 4 years, Speech and Debate has offered me invaluable skills that I will take into the future. I've definitely become a better public speaker, but what some of you may not know is that Speech and Debate offers a deep sense of collaboration, community, and courage to share our voices with the world. Without Speech and Debate, I know that my experience at SMHS would not have been the same. I'm so glad that many future generations will be able to speak and find a home in San Marino Speech and Debate. Thank you.
Nick, I want to thank you so much for your leadership on the Speech and Debate team and for presenting us with that wonderful speech. Dr. Richter and I had the distinct honor and privilege of attending one of your speeches recently, Sunday, at Carlsbad High School, and we were so impressed. You are very articulate and very poised under pressure, and you did just a beautiful job and made us so proud of San Marino High School and the Speech and Debate team. All of you are incredible in what you do, and you are very well prepared for whatever path you choose to take in the future. Speaking is one of the most important skills that you can possess to be successful in the world that we live in today. So congratulations to all of you. And now we have a challenge for you, and that is we're going to present you with the certificate and take a photograph in a very crowded room with the entire Board of Education. So if I can get you to come up here, we're
Tall
going to
people
figure it
in the
out.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Okay, come up the middle, stand on the
Yeah.
back. Come on up the middle, students, come on up.
All right. Are you gonna go behind?
We're gonna go behind.
I don't know.
I think we're going in front and we'll come out.
Yeah, we'll come out. You guys go in front.
See how that works.
Maybe we just can turn around chairs in the front row.
So we can get the tall people in the back and the vertically challenged like myself in the front. Okay, now we have to speak the board in somehow and our central principal and our coaches. We need a bigger board. Oh, there you Okay, this should work.
One, two, three.
Everybody come up right here, stand right here. And count, okay, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, thank you. Amazing, amazing. Congratulations. Good job. Congrats. Good job. Good job. Super proud of you guys.
Tony, how many speakers and how many debaters?
I think it was 7.
Your whole team. Yeah. But like about 50-50?
Thank you.
You were the only thing holding me back from that.
Yeah, but, yeah, okay. No, you're right. All right, they're probably going home to do their homework. I'm so grateful they're not going to be listening to my speaking. Good night. AP testing in May,
Oh, yeah.
yes, yes. All right, next, at this time, the Board of Education would like to recognize the PFA scholarship recipients. I would like to turn it over to Miss Toby McDonald Chow. Thank you.
Good evening, school board members, Superintendent De La Torre, and executive team. My name is Toby McDonald Cho, and I'm the current president of Partnership for Awareness. This evening, I'm thrilled to introduce you to 7 San Marino High School seniors who have won scholarships to pursue careers aligned with the mission of Partnership for Awareness. The mission of Partnership for Awareness is to increase awareness of critical issues challenging the health and well-being of San Marino youth, identify and address such issues in cooperative partnership with parents, students, educators, law enforcement, and community groups, and provide a forum to educate the San Marino community with the knowledge and skills to facilitate the successful navigation of these important issues. These 7 seniors have shown exceptional dedication to this mission, and their future careers will help them make a positive impact on the lives of others. Their career paths include psychology, behavioral health, nursing, forensic science, and medicine. They have all demonstrated a deep understanding of the challenges facing San Marino youth and a strong commitment to addressing them. Through their work, they will help create a safer, healthier, and more supportive community for everyone. I also invite you to PFA's speaker event and scholarship winner recognition tomorrow evening at 5:30 p.m. at the Barth Room, the Kroll Public Library, to hear more about each of our recipients. The evening will also feature SMUSD Wellness Counselors Tanya Alhendi and Pei-Jin Chen, as well as Superintendent De La Torre and San Marino Police Chief John Encontro, focusing on supporting emotional, mental, and physical safety for youth in our community. So I'm not telling you very many details about these 7 amazing seniors because we want you all to come up to the library tomorrow. We are incredibly proud of these students and the work they have done, and we look forward to seeing the impact they will make in the future. Please join me in congratulating them on their achievements and wishing them the best in their future endeavors. Our first place scholarship recipients are Giordano Camara,
Come on up. Stand there, yeah.
also winning a first place scholarship is Hope DeBona. These are our second place scholarship recipients. Mackenzie Anton. Alexis De La Torre. Danica Coffey. Helene Nesnis. And Zoe Sutliff.
Okay, we can get a photograph with you as well. Yeah, we can do this. We're gonna have 2 rows. 2 rows, okay. So again.
Mom Mackenzie. Hey, come on.
Okay, do you have us all in the picture?
Count 3. 1, 2, 3.
One more, please. Congratulations. She is us. Thank you.
Jennifer's daughter. The one in black. That's Jennifer's daughter. I know, right? Yeah, that one, they are related. Those two actually are related.
He went during Mike's time. He was there under Mike's tutelage. I can't claim him. He served time when he served time.
It was published somewhere, but I can't remember.
All right, and with that, I've cleared the room, except for Jason. Jack, are you gonna stay? You're gonna stay, Jack?
You are the only lucky one tonight.
I don't have an audience. No, I need more, Jason. All right. Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations.
All right, next we have public comment. The Board of Education has adopted Board Policy 9323B to ensure the public's right to be heard in any matters pertaining to the San Marino Unified School District. Persons who wish to provide public comment will have 3 options to submit public comments. First, to submit through an online form. Second, to request to speak during the meeting via Zoom. Request to speak during the meeting in person via the public comment card. Since only Jason is here, you may pick up your card over by Jennifer De La Torre's desk. And now, Dr. Choi, is there anyone who is on the queue waiting? to Zoom.
Okay, we do have an audience and we are going to pause for 1 minute to take requests. So if you'd like to make a request to speak, please press the raise hand icon, or if you are calling in, please dial *9. And if you are making a request for matters that are not on the agenda, items that are in the consent or information sections, go ahead and please press the raise hand icon now. Okay, we have 30 seconds remaining. Again, if you'd like to make a request to speak, please press the raise hand icon or dial *9. Okay, President Ryan, we have one request from Marguerite Lindsay.
All right. Please invite her.
Marguerite, go ahead, you may begin.
Hi, good evening, school board member, school board president Ryan, Superintendent De La Torre, and
Marguerite, we are unable to hear you, although I see your hand still being raised. You may need to go ahead and, I see that you are unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Marguerite, are you able to go ahead and begin and speak?
Testing.
Unfortunately, we are not able to hear you, Marguerite.
Margaret, why don't you hang up and then call back?
Okay.
Okay, I see Marguerite is rejoining.
Mhm, mhm.
Marguerite, I see that you have joined, but you're still on mute. I went ahead and pressed the ask to unmute button. See if you can go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you now.
Okay, I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. I don't know what the problem was. Okay. Good evening, School Board President Ryan, Superintendent De La Torre, and Cabinet. My name is Marguerite Lindsay. I speak to you this evening as the past president of the CSEA San Marino Chapter 120 Association and a current executive board member. This evening, CSEA is concerned that the CSEA and district initial proposals aren't agendized this evening. We sent our initial proposal to the district on April 4th, and it was approved prior by our association. How can CSEA and San Marino Unified negotiate it if initial proposals are not sunshine tonight? Don't forget, the Educational Employment Relations Act requires that each party's proposal be presented for public comment at the publicized school board meeting. Can we get some clarification on this process? Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. Good night.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next is number 9, our consent section. Do I have a motion to approve the consent section A through L?
I move to approve the consent section.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you, Mrs. John. Thank you, Mrs. Gill. Roll call vote, Mrs. Lamb.
Aye.
Mrs. Gill.
Aye.
Mrs. Chong,
Aye.
Mr. Chang,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan, aye. And so the motion to approve the consent section A to L has been approved. Next is communication section. I'd like to call on communication from the Board of Education, Mrs. Lamb. And everyone, please keep it to 2 to 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Wow. All right.
Very nice. Congrats.
Congratulations. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. All right.
Thank you, Mrs. Ryan. On March 29th, I attended the Safety and Wellness Committee meeting. It was a meeting where many members of the San Marino community attended, including the police department, the fire department. Among that, many different school departments were represented, PTA, and I thought it was such a great symbol of the city coming together, ensuring the safety and wellness of our students. On April 2nd, I attended the Frozen Junior play by HMS. I brought my kindergartner to this play and I wanted to share that she attended it, and all kids love Frozen, but she loved it so much that she took home the program and then she mounted it on a poster board, and then she proceeded to tape it on the wall of her bedroom. So it was just the cutest thing to see how much she admired it. And that was great performance by HMS. And on April 22nd, I attended the Carver Carnival. So lots of silly strings, bubbles, lots of great games that were arranged. And overall, from what I hear, a very successful event. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lamb. Ms. Gill.
So I also attended the Safety and Wellness Committee meeting with Mrs. Lamb, as we are the two board representatives for the meeting. One great takeaway that I would like to continue to hear developed and focused upon is how safety is going to shape the facilities in with our facilities advisory committee. And I think that's a really, really big piece of what we're working on. So I also attended the Carver and Valentine open houses, which is just, I love that part of our work, is just being with the kids and being in the classrooms and talking to the teachers and parents. It just is such a great reminder of why we're doing what we're doing. So.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. John.
Thank you. So also in the spirit of wrapping things up for the school year, and VAPA attended Frozen Junior and the Valentine Spring Program as well, and open house and carnival. I also attended Dance Cetra at the high school, which was really fun because what they've done with it is really pull in all of the different school sites to participate in the event. So you really pulled the entire community in to watch that. I saw alumni parents come back who enjoy seeing that show. So that was really nice opportunity to see everybody participate. And then also attended PTA council training. And this afternoon actually had a lunch with a very informal lunch with some other board members from similar like districts. So we just shared some thoughts and ideas, and one person was sharing about something they did with a speaker in their community about Holocaust remembrance and memorial. And so I thought, oh, that would be a great person to bring to PFA to maybe want to think about next year. And we shared about some of the different practices we have. We talked about La Cagnata went to Italy, we went to Paris. So it was a great opportunity to talk with other board members who are also from similar districts to see what they're doing and what we're doing. And if anybody wants to join me in the future, please let me know.
Thank you, Mrs. Cho. Mr. Chang.
March 30, I attend the art reception hosted by the San Marino Rotary Club. Because there's a rain, so they moved to the district office. And the same day at 9, I attend the partnership awareness Zoom meeting. So the speaker is Dr. Marcus Rodriguez. So the topic is learn strategy for mindfulness and emotion regulation. And March 31st, I also see the Frozen music performance at the Huntington Middle School. And April 1st, I attend a very interesting fundraising party hosted by Jin Chuang. So it's a whiskey party. So to pay a fixed fee, so you can have more than 10 different kind of whiskey. I was not drunk, but I asked my wife
To pick you up.
home instead of Uber. Yeah. The April 6th, I also attend the Carver open house, and the same day also a Valentine music performance at the middle school auditorium. And April 8th, Saturday, I attend the Science Olympic. I observe the Science Olympic at the Caltech for both of middle school and high school our students. And then April 14, I was get a privilege. I attend the CSC health. So they are mental health, all the staff, they have a retreat at the Pasadena. And April 28, San Bernardino City Club, they visit the Huntington Medical Research Institute. As you know, I'm the board member there, so I give our administrative staff the tour. Yeah, hope you like it. Yeah. And then April 20, I also observe the Densetra. This is my always favorite once a year event. And then April 20, Valentine open house. And then April 22nd, Carver Carnival. And yesterday, I think, as you know, the last minute, the drumline puts the president give us an invitation. So I went there. So it's the winter drumline and the color guard showcase, which are excellent. And today I just share a good news for you. So you can relive in the Huntington Library Rose Garden. So the tea house, they already remodeled. Today have a ribbon cutting. Yeah, hope you like it. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get to go, Mr. Chang, so
We didn't get that invitation.
yeah, no invitation.
He's gonna
came.
give us a private.
Yes.
That's it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chang. And to just keep it brief, I attended pretty much all of the events that my fellow board members did. Carver Open House. This year, I've been able to attend all of San Marino Schools Foundation board meetings. Thank you, SMSF, for all the work that you do in terms of helping support each of our sites. Valentine Open House, Dancetra, Carver Carnival. After what, 28 or 30 silly string canisters, we were able to leave relatively unscathed, right? Just got my legs sprayed a little bit. Not to worry. I had sunscreen on. Okay, and then the last thing is Pasadena, South Pasadena had a partnership with their businesses to raise funds and support the arts through education and innovation. That's I went to see that, to see the ideas that they had in terms of fundraising. They were able to generate a bunch of money. And so maybe that's something that VAPA can look into. All right, with that, I'm going to turn it over to communication from the student board member, who is Kelly Trin, is absent from today's meeting and is attending a badminton game, as I said earlier, but I will turn the communication to Dr. Linda Delatorre, our superintendent.
Thank you, President Ryan, members of the Board of Education Executive Team. I'd like to begin this evening by acknowledging that tonight, Dr. Jason Rose will be presenting the Board of Education with proclamations honoring our staff. The first week of May is our Teacher Appreciation and Classified Employee Appreciation Week. And we are planning something very special for our employees, and we'll extend an invitation to the board as soon as we possibly can on that. But we are very grateful for our hardworking teachers who are, in those classrooms every single day, bringing their A game, really working with kids to make sure that they can realize their dreams and their aspirations. And they really do give their heart and their soul to the work that they do in the classroom with our kids every day. Our classified staff, the teachers wouldn't be able to do what they do without their support. And I know that the board really appreciates all of our staff as well. That was one of the board goals, to create an appreciation for our staff. And we have been working really, really hard to make that come to fruition. So I want to thank the Board of Education for putting its employees first and really making that a priority. I know all of our employees do appreciate you and the work that you do as well. Tomorrow is Professional Administrative Assistance Day. And so I'd also like to take this opportunity just to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation for Jennifer Delatorre, who provides not only support and assistance to me as superintendent, but also to the Board of Education. She works very, very hard to make sure that our board is taken care of and that I remain in the upright position at all times. So thank you for your work on that. And by the way, as a PS, we are not related. We are not related. I just want to say that. But she is wonderful and I appreciate her. And so thank you, Jennifer. We're going to be celebrating with our professional assistants tomorrow in the office and expressing our gratitude. And now I want to turn to a more somber subject, and I will try to keep this as brief as I can, but this is really, really important. Recently, as you are all aware, we've learned from the media about the tragic loss of some young lives to suicide. While it's a difficult subject to broach, and it is important to really talk about this issue. It not only impacts our community, it impacts all of the surrounding communities as well. And it's important to bring everyone together on this topic. It's a devastating issue that we have to work together on in prevention, in community spirit. As a superintendent, I take this matter very seriously and want to assure our community and our school board that our school district is committed to creating a safe and supportive environment for all students. We have implemented, as you are aware, various programs and resources to support our students, and especially those who may be struggling with mental health issues or suicidal ideation. We have a strong partnership. Thank you to Mr. Joseph Chang for his work in connecting us to the Chinatown Service Center. They have been wonderful in providing resources for our community, for our parents, to be able to connect our students who are in need with the support services that are critical to resolving those issues. We know that prevention is the key. And we have trained our staff and continue to train our staff to recognize the warning signs of suicide and respond appropriately. As a matter of fact, every single year, all of our employees have to take a training course online through Target Solutions on recognizing the signs of suicide and being able to take appropriate action to prevent it. Our elementary schools have social emotional learning curriculum, and our secondary schools have wellness centers that support the needs of all of our students. Those wellness centers are staffed by counselors and MFT interns. We're very fortunate to have a partnership with local universities where we are helping interns to reach their service hours. And they are working under the supervision of our licensed counselors at San Marino High School. We've also established a crisis response team at each of our schools that can assess students that are struggling or experiencing a crisis, and they can provide immediate support in the event of an emergency. Additionally, we are working with organizations like Care Solace that will provide families with resources and support if they are struggling and having a challenge that they can't overcome on their own. So we want to encourage all of our parents to continue to have an open dialogue with their students, check in with them, ask them how they're doing, how things are going, how they're feeling. Really make sure that we continue to assess the needs and the mental health needs of our students. It's critically important, especially this time of year. There's a lot of pressure on our kids. Our students are trying to get into the schools that they want to go to. And if they don't get into those schools, sometimes there's a feeling and a sense of disappointment. Want to make sure that those kids know that it's okay and they're going to be okay. We want to wrap our kids in supports wherever and whenever we can. And we want to make sure that we're doing it together as a community. And it's really, really critical. There's nothing more important than that in my mind. So we encourage you to stay informed and to reach out to us if you need help and support. We have a lot of resources, more resources than we've ever had before. And we really want to make them available to families and students who may need them. And with that, I turn it back over to you, Madam President.
Thank you, Dr. Delatorre. Lots to think about, but also I'm so thankful for you for presenting all of the resources that we have now available. And thank you, Mr. Chang, for your connection with Chinatown Services. Next, action item, information item, proclamation 1, Dr. Jason Rose, and proclamation number 2, Dr. Jason Rose. Wow, you did that just to trip me up. Wow.
Thank you, President Ryan, Board, Dr. Delatorre, and Cabinet. As Dr. Delatorre has already said, this is the fun time of year where we get to acknowledge and honor all the hard work that our amazing staff does. It does not go unnoticed, and it is my honor to read this proclamation for the Day of the Teacher, which says, whereas an educated citizenry serves as the foundation of our democracy, and whereas today's teachers mold the minds and train the workforce of the future, and whereas no other profession touches as many people with such a lasting effect, and whereas good teaching grows in value and pays dividends far beyond the classroom, and whereas excellence in our state begins with California's teachers, and whereas California's teachers are among the best educated, most credentialed, and hardest working educators in the country, therefore the San Marino Unified School District hereby proclaims Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023 as the California Day of the Teacher. And we urge all San Marino citizens to observe this day by taking time to remember and honor those San Marino Unified School District teachers who have given the gift of knowledge through teaching. So we are very excited for that. And not to be outdone, just as hardworking and just in need of honoring is also our classified employees. And so proclamation number 2 is for our Classified School Employee Week, which is going to be May 21st through May 27th. So whereas classified professionals provide valuable services to the schools and students of the San Marino Unified School District, and whereas classified professionals contribute to the establishment and promotion of a positive instructional environment, and whereas classified professionals serve a vital role in providing for the welfare and safety of San Marino Unified School District students, and whereas classified professionals employed by the San Marino Unified School District strive for excellence in all areas relative to the educational community. Therefore, the San Marino Unified School District hereby proclaims the week of Sunday, May 21st through Saturday, May 27th, 2023 as Classified School Employee Week, and wishes to honor the contribution of the classified professionals to quality education in the state of California and in the San Marino Unified School District.
Thank you, Dr. Rose. I know next is our action item, and I'm going to be calling on Dr. Lynn. However, I was remiss in reporting out something. So if I could, I'm sorry I have to do this, but I want to make sure. On April 13th, I received a letter, and it's pursuant to Education Code Section 42131. The Los Angeles County Superintendent of Schools has completed the review of our San Marino Unified School District And this is our second interim report. Their analysis of the data provided indicates that the school district should be able to meet its financial obligations for the current fiscal year and subsequent 2 fiscal years. We therefore concur with the district's positive certification. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew that I had received that letter. Okay, so I apologize, I didn't read that out. Okay, Dr. Lynn, action item resolution number 10. Dr. Michael Lynn, go ahead.
Thank you, President Ryan, members of the Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Delatorre, and executive team. Anytime we create a new fund for whatever purpose through LACO, we have to get a board resolution passed. And the creation of the Student Activity Special Revenue Fund, also Fund 08, is necessary to facilitate the ASB activities of our students at HMS and the high school. Currently, we have 4 ASB accounts, 2 savings, 2 checkings, with Wells Fargo and a combined balance that exceeds the $250,000 FDIC limit. So it is very advisable and recommended that the Board of Education approve the creation of Fund 8, which will reside and be situated at the County of Los Angeles Office of Education.
Okay. With that, do I have a motion to approve a resolution number 10 of the governing board authorizing the establishment of Fund 08 Student Activity Special Revenue Fund? This is ASB. Go ahead, Jane.
I had a question first. So the source of the funds for that comes from where?
From the existing Wells Fargo savings and checking accounts for both HMS and the high school.
And then it would be restricted to,
Only the ASB functions and the activities.
and then moving forward, the funds will to be deposited in there and expensed will be.
A large portion will be with LACO. For example, yearbook contributions to the yearbook program. That money sits there and doesn't really move around so much. Other activities like clubs and activities that could still proceed with Wells Fargo. Getting a check out from LACO takes a long time, but having yearbook be situated at LACO frees up the money to the extent that we're going to have less than 250,000 combined at Wells Fargo.
That's for the safety.
So it has more to do with the FDIC insurance than anything
Yes,
else.
it has everything to do with the risks involved.
Right.
If we have money that's public dollars, ASB dollars are public dollars, that's non-insured, that's a risk to our district.
So the resolution purpose is shift the account to the another bank, right?
In this case, it doesn't shift the risk. It makes a large deposit with LACO in Fund 8, and LACO has unlimited coverage. But to process activities through LACO takes a long time. Most of the activities will still be processed with Wells Fargo, just that some projects, some programs such as yearbook will be processed through LACO because it makes sense. That money doesn't really transact that often.
So with that, so how many account for the student activity revenue fund right now?
So right now we have 4 accounts, 2 checking, 2 savings, 1 for HMS, checking, savings, and the high school has a checking and savings with Wells Fargo. But having money at LACO makes it much safer for us. Actually, we're going to have no insurance risk at all once we do that.
Where do they do their banking?
They're the government. LACO has, I don't know how they do it.
No, they still have a bank. They may be the government, but they don't keep it, I mean.
That's a great question.
Maybe they
It's
carry
like
a
a
higher
black
insurance.
box. They just.
No, everybody's 250.
Yeah.
Every bank is 250. They're not an extraordinary bank.
Well, it's like,
Our payroll goes through LACO, millions of dollars get transacted. I mean, we're a small district compared to LAUSD. They're talking about billions of dollars, and that's LACO as well. So I don't know how they do it. I mean, that's interesting. I'll find out.
That would
I'll
be
look into it.
great.
So do you need to update for signer or no?
So we need, upon board approval, the clerk of the board will sign on behalf
That's
of the board after approval. And then I'm going to send that immediately to LACO. After that, we'll make a transfer of a certain amount to free up the Wells Fargo joint accounts to under 200,000.
Okay.
250,000.
Okay, go ahead, Francesca.
so are you
putting in place some assurance that we won't go over the 250 from, I mean,
Yes.
how do you plan to do that?
This was, so in the summer, last summer, when I first, became a signer,
Mhm.
the question was, well, this combined exceeds the 250, we got to work on it. It wasn't until the Silicon Valley Bank where we're like, okay, we got to light a fire under this. We got to really get this done.
Right.
We visited local banks and they wanted the articles of incorporation. And we're like, how do we even get that? We got to get this done now. And LACO could do it the fastest, do a resolution. So how do we assure that this doesn't happen? We have an ASB accountant for each of the, for both sites, and she monitors the total balance. The Director of Fiscal Services monitors the total balance. I monitor the bottom line.
So if the money though is going out by account, like say yearbook, it's allocated to that. I mean, if it's over for ASB in this, I mean, then you're gonna have to switch account, like transfer internal accounts. I mean,
Right.
it
We could
just
have-
seems like.
Yeah, LACO write a check to
Seems
us.
complicated.
Yeah, anything through LACO is a little bit more complicated because there are controls and in place that are a little bit that require more documentation. But for
correct.
projects and programs that
Mhm.
don't transact as much, we have the opportunity of shifting that, reducing the risk. This is the best solution we have right now while we try to figure out some other mechanisms for this. But it is a timely item because of what we've seen in the news. And the minute it's approved, we're already we're loaded to get this done.
Thank you for your action on that. With that, do I have a motion to approve?
I move to authorize resolution. I move to authorize the establishment of Fund 08 Student Activity Special Revenue Fund to the Board of Education, resolution number 10.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. John. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Chang. And so with that roll call, Mrs. Lamb,
Aye.
Mrs. Gill,
Aye.
Mrs. John,
Aye.
Mr. Chang,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan, aye, and the motion has passed for resolution number 10. Thank you, Dr. Lynn. Proposal June board meeting. Date revision, Superintendent Dr. Linda Delatorre. Do you want to speak on that or it's already, okay.
Thank you, President Ryan, members of the Board of Education Executive Team. During June, it's necessary for us to hold 2 board meetings during this month for presentation and approval of the LCAP and for our budget for 2023-24. And currently, we have approved a meeting on the 13th. However, Dr. Richter and I are going to be attending an AXA conference in San Diego from the 11th through the 14th. So we are respectfully requesting that the board consider moving the meeting from the 13th to the 15th so that we can be here in attendance for a presentation on both the LCAP and the budget for both June meetings.
Any discussion? With that, may I have a motion to?
I'll make
Okay.
the motion.
Okay,
I move to revise the Board of Education meeting from June 13th, 2003 to June 15th, 2003.
okay. Thank you, Mrs. Gill. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Lamb. Sorry, I was looking at something else, LCAPs. Thank you, Mrs. Lamb. With that roll call, Mrs. Lamb,
Aye.
Mrs. Gill.
Aye.
Mrs. Chong.
Aye.
Mr. Chang.
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan, aye, and the motion has passed. We will have a revised board meeting date for June 15th instead of the 13th, right?
Mhm.
Yes. All right, Board Superintendent, any discussion items? If not, I will adjourn the meeting. Oh, go ahead, Mr. Chang.
Is we are ready to know when is a proposed meeting for after the July 1st.
It's talking about the following year.
Following year.
The May 9th.
May 9th.
Yeah.
Would that be
We'll have that for
okay?
you then.
All right.
Does that work?
I just wanted to say one thing. I know we had a situation incident at Carver today, and I wanted to say thank you to the staff, both here and at Carver, for the communications, for handling it very well. It seems as though a lot of the training and protocol reviews that have taken place over the last few weeks have proved to be effective, unfortunately necessary. So I think it sounds like everything went well, and I think the kids, though I'm hearing they were scared, they felt they knew what they needed to do. And I think the teachers felt the same way. And unfortunately, that might be the best we can ask for these days. So I just wanted to say thank you to the staff and to both here and Carver, and for all of the sites and all the work they've been doing around that.
And I echo that. Kudos to Carver, and the communication from the principal there was amazing, incredible. Everybody did exactly what they should have done. It was flawless and seamless, very uncomfortable. As board member Chan mentioned, for everyone involved, but they were able to stay safe during the incident. So yeah, I echo your sentiments.
Yeah, but thank you for that. And also thank you to you and your staff always for reviewing and debriefing after each incident, and always continuing to adapt and to change as safety requires. So thank you for that. All right, go ahead, Mr. Chang.
Oh, by the way, this morning I saw the acting city manager at the Huntington Library. So is that we will have a joint meeting for this
Yeah,
year?
we've been waiting. Mrs. Gill and I are waiting to meet with the city as well.
So yeah, they're in the process of hiring a new city manager.
Mhm.
And so we're expecting that to be effective July 1st.
Mm.
And so we were thinking that we would wait for the new city manager to get on board. We have some things to discuss. And also I know that Dr. Lynn is looking forward to having a conversation about the parking agreement. And so that's one of the things that we're looking at now with the renovation of the city center. And so we want to make sure that we keep the board informed as we move forward on that. And we have a conversation with the board about that before we have a joint meeting with the city.
All right. So I have us adjourning, or did you have other? Okay, so 8:02, we are adjourned.